why do we build churches that look like houses when we could just be meeting in houses to begin with? Folks, it's so simple. If you think about it, people have figured out that we should try to make our church more homey, and we should try to make it more hospitable and add, some couches and greet people and give them a drink or a cookie or a snack when they come in. I mean, what we're all doing is trying to do the very thing that house church or home-based church can be, and more likely will be, but in some big building. We're working in reverse. As usual, we have it inverted. We're doing top down instead of bottom up. And I think you'll find that the most successful churches do the sorts of things that are being fostered in families and homes and trying to look more like that environment. That is the key to success. It's not these massive structures, impersonalized, where do I park, and all this kind of stuff. No, it's actually real people who can get together and see each other's faces and break bread and be in each other's lives. Because the point of church, of gathering as the believers, what we call church, is actually to do life together, to influence, to talk, to share, to pray, to weep, to cry, to comfort. And yet we're trying to do that all with one person up front, or one person and 3 or 4 other paid staff members. And that's just not getting it done. It's not cutting it. Now, I know people will say, well, we do the big church, but we have small groups, and that's where you're supposed to get your care and whatnot. Well, maybe if your small group is the core, then yeah, sure, maybe have a big service once or twice a month. But we have it all inverted. We make the big services, the big things. That's also where people give the money, tends to be. And then, the small group is kind of that optional thing. Or a lot of churches, they meet every Sunday. The small group meets every other week or twice a month. Folks, it's got to become inverted. And I know this is a hard paradigm to break. And people, we just love our big church meeting, and some do it better than others. And, I've enjoyed some of the churches I've been part of. But I'm at a place where I've really become convinced we have to go small. And COVID was that wake-up call. It was forced on us. God allowed that because it was to wake the church up. The church in the Middle East and China, underground churches, they've been meeting this way for decades. And really, the early church met this way for hundreds of years. And as it was at the beginning, it will be at the end. So those are my thoughts. I would love to hear yours and your feedback, as well as any suggestions of things you would like me to cover or talk about in these videos. Thank you. God bless.